Hey guys, it's Scott with Scottie B Cards, and in this video we're going to be grading some cards with CGC. So in this video, it's a part 2 of a series I've done. After this video is over, go head back to part 1. In that video, I actually interview Andy as he's grading cards with me, and we're going to be grading cards with Andy, the head grader at CGC, and we're going to discuss things like alterations, how they grade dimples on cards, print lines, all these other things. So if you want to hear more about that after this video, head on over to that one, and make sure you stay throughout this entire video because there might even be a little bit of a CGC giveaway at the end. This is the next one. This is a Xander Bogaerts. This is a number to 5 atomic refractor from 2014 Topps Finest. And one thing I love about your slabs, and I think we can talk about this slightly as we're doing this, is the clarity of your case.
Yes.
It makes cards that look like this look amazing. Like it's almost as if it was raw. It's better than a top loader. It's better than a penny sleeve. So all the places you've worked it a lot. We don't need to say names besides CGC. Would you say that the CGC slab is the best in regards to presentation?
Oh, 100%. And that's not by accident. That was by design when we came on board and put everything together. That was the one thing, was we wanted the most secure holder in the industry and we wanted the clearest holder in the industry. And so I wish I could take credit for it completely, but Certified Collectibles Group as a whole has been grading collectibles since 1987, so we were able to lean on that expertise, especially NGC Coins, who've had holders since 1987, and we were able to use their expertise to go, hey guys, help us. Let's design the best holder in our industry. And so that definitely was our big focus, is how clear can we get it and also have all the standards for security that we require.
So before we look at this card, when you say security, what makes your case so secure? Because we've seen with other grading companies, a few years ago, BGS had an incident where their cards were in fake slabs for a little bit. Like, what makes your cases so secure?
Well, it's a number of things. There's a number of security features just in the label itself. The holder itself has built-in security. One that you can see very clearly on the back is a hologram.
Yeah.
It's not just a cool-looking hologram. It's actually a security feature itself. It does some things that are pretty interesting involving lasers, believe it or not. But it can't be replicated, what it does. And so I don't want to go too much into that. It's more internal, but there's a lot of security built in just in that hologram alone, but also the way the holder is made, the weld points, that's all in design to where the holder will shatter when you open it. Now,
I've opened one. It did shatter.
Yeah, and that's by design. But, aside from all the security features built into it physically, another one is every card that we've graded has been imaged front and back from day one. And so you can reference the QR code on the back of the label, or you can put in the cert number on the cert verification page on our website, and you know exactly how that card looked when it left our facility. So if a holder was somehow compromised and able to be put back together, you can clearly see what that card looks like, what that holder looked like when it left our facility.
Really cool. Thank you for elaborating.
Sure.
Because I was actually wondering about the hologram on the back. I thought it had some purpose besides just looking cool. Because I bought a card for my PC and it came damaged in the mail. It wasn't your fault. They packaged it horribly. And so I just cracked it out. And like you said, it did shatter, which I've cracked out slabs from every major grading company. And some are very easy to crack out, and others are difficult. And yours made it so I could not reuse the case. The case was unreusable where I couldn't put super glue on it and fake it or anything.
Right.
So I have my grade on the Xander Bogaerts. I want to hear yours.
All right. Number 1 of 5. Very cool.
It's a 1 of 1 according to eBay.
But according to eBay, it's a 1 of 1. That's right. 1 of 5. eBay 1 of 1. It's a really nice card. I don't see anything that really jumps out. There's some surface flaws, but to be expected.
The bottom corner concerns me.
Yeah, I think that's your worst, is that corner.
I didn't see a ton on the surface. I do think there, obviously, with almost every chromium card, there's going to be some marks. And I think you can get a 10 with a tiny bit of surface marks.
You can. You absolutely can.
But, so that wasn't my concern. It's that corner's the primary concern for me. Could something like that, those small corners, keep it from a 9.5 or...
Yeah, I think because you have a combination of two corners, and and like I said, the surface alone, I would be okay with if that was the only flaw. But with those two corners, I think we're being a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
So at least we're going back up, though.
From 2 to 9, guys.
That's a good jump.
The next grade's 18 at this rate.
That's right.
And we'll have a few cards left. This one I got in a break, and it was encased by Topps Pristine, and I decided just to open it myself because... a card like this Larry Walker is not worth a ton. It's probably worth $30-$40, even though it's a gold autograph numbered to 50. But I'm interested to see your thoughts. I already have looked this one over because I did break it out.
Okay.
So I guessed 9.5 on this one. So I was a little high, but we're still pretty close so far. Autograph wise, looks pretty good. Looked like a 10 autograph to me.
Yep. Yeah, I don't see any problems with the autograph. I agree. It's a 10 auto. Yeah, I would be at a 9.5 on this one.
Awesome. I think that's fair because there's a little bit of surface marks right on his face.
A little bit of surface, yeah, right on his face. There's also the centering is off slightly as well. But other than that, it's very nice. And then, like you said, a 10 auto. Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah.
And then last one, I'm not even going to review it. I'm just going to pass this one to you and hear your evaluation on this Todd Helton.
All right.
Big old jumbo patch from Tier 1 with the letter C from the Rockies logo.
Yeah, very cool patch. So I'm going to throw an answer to a question that hasn't been asked.
Oh, please.
So what about damage on patches that come with marks, or sometimes even speculate that it's blood or something game used? And so I've been asked that a lot. How does that affect the grade? And it doesn't. So
cool.
You've got grass stains or whatever you may have on a patch or a jersey piece, and we don't take that into account on the grade.
Awesome. So here's a question while looking that over. It's back to chromium cards. Mm-hmm. What about like the factory dimples? Because I've had cards when I haven't graded much with CGC when it comes to those, but I've sent them to PSA and I've gotten 10s on them. But you see on Blowout, other Reddit, other forums where they say that impacts the grade. But I didn't for me. Like, how does that work for you in your eyes?
It should, and normally does. It's to the degree of how many and how big, and also where they're located. So,
interesting.
You have one right in the player's face. Obviously, it's going to be more detrimental than if it was off into, say, the field here, anywhere away from the player. So, you can have a Gem Mint 10 with some slight dimples, but they're going to be small and they're going to be out of the way.
Cool.
They're not going to be near the image. So, without seeing that card in particular, I can't say, but it's not impossible to have some of the small factory dimples still at a Gem Mint, especially if everything else is there, the other areas of the card, your corners and edges and of course centering. All right, this is a very nice card, very nice patch card. I just see a few little flaws on the surface which aren't that bad. The centering is nice. I think this is a Gem Mint 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did I bully you into that grade with my last comment?
No. I'll tell you, I'm kind of looking at it again, going, that's not what I expect on a card like that. So that's very cool.
What if I told you the person shipped it to me with no penny sleeve and just a top loader?
That's some good luck right
it
there.
It made it through USPS.
Wow.
It survived. Okay.
That's crazy.
So I have a few more cards. These ones are going to be tougher because I want to see if we can review the cards through the slabs, and if they're the same grade or higher, then we can crack them out. If not, I'll keep them in the slabs. But here's a question I think everybody wants to know, where there's memes and jokes. Are you active on social media? Like, do you see posts and things?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter a lot.
So you've seen the joke of like, man, my grader had a bad day, or this, and this. Let me ask you this. Does your emotion ever impact your grading? And the second part to that question, because I think I already know the answer, how do you keep that emotion out of your grading?
Yeah. Well, look, grading is subjective because there's a human element there. Now, we do use AI assistance in our grading, but it's still up to the grader, the expert, to make that call. And so there's always that element of human there, right? And so what we have to do is we have to have systems in place to checks and balances to keep that in check. Because somebody could have a bad day, but it can't affect our grading line. It can't impact our standards. And so all throughout our process, there's checks and balances to where everything's checked, including QC procedures such as QCing of the label itself, making sure the information's correct, QCing the overall card, the grade, and the label together. So, we have to guard against that because we are human. We all have bad days, and we can do all of our classroom training that we do and the modules for maintaining the line, but that doesn't do anything for your everyday outside of work life, right? And so for that we have checks and balances to make sure that every card's looked at by another grader and it goes through that QC process just to make sure everybody's on the right line and there's not something out there crazy.
So you're confident it doesn't impact the grade really at all?
Yeah, I'm confident because of the systems we have in place, yeah.
Great. All right, so here's the two cards. We have a Mookie Betts Atomic Refractor. This is a 1/1 rookie card, really rare card. This one is an 8 from SGC, primarily because of an indent on the back. I don't know if that was from the factory, if it happened later, but that's why that one got the grade that it did.
Okay.
Other than that, there's not any visible, obvious damage. Obviously, surface is difficult through a slab. Almost impossible.
It's not impossible. It can be difficult, but it really is going to depend on the holder itself and that whatever company holder it's in. Some holders are easier than others, but you can have the clearest holder in the world, but if you've allowed the holder to be scratched up or you're carrying around in your pocket, it's going to make it difficult to see through the holder for when we're looking for reviewing a grade. Yeah, that definitely looks like that was probably aftermarket damage. It's a pretty good little ding there on the edge. Yeah, I think that I don't think that's going to go higher than an 8 for sure.
Okay. Could it get an 8 still, or do you think it's lower than an 8 with the CGC scale?
Yeah, because of that, actually, it actually wrinkles there. It actually creased where the ding is. I would be a half grade lower. I think it'd be a 7.5.
I think that's fair. So I'll probably keep that one in the slab.
Yeah.
Just because, 8 looks prettier. But this one, I have not been able to find any issues. It's a Jose Ramirez Superfractor from 2014 Topps Finest. It's his rookie card. He actually doesn't have a first Bowman Chrome or first Bowman paper.
Yeah.
And he's also very limited in the number of rookie sets that he has. So I'd argue this is one of his best cards that exist.
Yeah, very cool.
So that's why I love this one. But there's obviously with 2014 Finest that you're probably looking at now, there's a lot of minor corner wear. We saw it with the Xander Bogaerts, actually. But other than that, I didn't see much. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah. There's some slight corner touches. There's a couple small dings on the edges. My main concern will be surface on this. Just from a cursory look here, everything else looks good. So it tells me maybe something on the surface. This is something where I'd have to do a little bit closer examination with some different lighting that we have to be able to see that surface. But I don't see anything glaring on the surface. The front actually looks nice. You got a couple edge dings, little touches in the corner. But I think that's a 9.5.
Nice.
I do think it's a 9.5, yep.
Until you crack it out and there might be a surface mark, then it could be a 9 again.
We would take a look at it under a different light source first to make sure, because I wouldn't want to crack that unless we're confident in the grade.
I'll let you guys know what happens. We'll show it literally in a few seconds.
Yeah. All right, Scott. I got the cards back.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay.
So, yes, it's time to take a look. So, you know what? Let's let you do it. I don't want to do it.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to open this as if we're doing this right now. Oh, there we go. Okay, so what we have in here, CGC was nice enough to let me grade, first of all, a custom card. This was mine and my wife's Christmas card from 2019. And so we're going to be giving these away. 4 of you are going to get 10s. But it looks like one of you is only going to get a 9.5. So whoever gets that, you're a winner, but you're also a loser. So, all right. Perfect. Thank you so much for doing that. These are awesome. So in order to enter the giveaway for these cards, leave me a comment in the comments down below which of these cards was your favorite and what your thoughts were about this entire process. But yeah, I'll pick randomly from that. I will do it on a video in the future where we'll just put it into a random comment generator and we'll give those out. So thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. But now to the more exciting part. These are the cards.
These are the cards.
These are the cards. So the very first one in the back. Look at that. Holy cow. Look how good that looks. I'm surprised how good this thick of a card looks in your case. That's amazing. So there's no protective sleeve over it, and it fits really well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing is, we can accommodate cards up to 7.25 millimeters thick, which is the thickest of any grading company right now.
Wow. Cool. Awesome. Really nice. All right, the next one.
All right.
I'm excited for this one, too, because it looks like it got a higher grade than what we actually decided.
So it did. So that's a cool thing. So, this isn't the most ideal grading setup, right? When I looked at your cards. So this is an example of, we both know it's off top to bottom on the centering.
Yeah.
And so my eye, I'm looking at it as we're talking, looked like it was an 8. Turns out in the grading room when they got the cards and they measured it out, actually measured just over 8 centering, so 8.5 overall. So actually got a bump.
That's amazing. And let's hope none of them got bumped down.
Let's hope so. That's always possible.
You were pretty strict earlier.
Well.
I'm just kidding. But it looks really good in the case. Obviously, I've said that every 5 minutes in this video. But that's what I do love about your product the most, personally, is the presentation of a PC card. It just pops. So that looks awesome.
Yeah, we're very proud of that. And it's always great to hear that.
I'm very excited about this next one. Look how freaking good that looks. Oh my gosh. That looks amazing. Combination of the 2013 Topps Chrome or Superfractors look great, but it presents it as if it wasn't even in a holder.
Yeah.
Which I know sounds dramatic, but it looks really good. We have the Larry Walker pristine autograph. Looks like the autograph is on the back. Got a 10 like we discussed earlier. Looks nice. And this is the one I'm probably the most excited about. That and the Billy Butler, but here is that Jose Ramirez Superfractor. And like I already mentioned, I actually think that the clear case plus the Superfractor, I didn't really like the black around it. I didn't think it did the card any justice. So it looks really nice that way. That's amazing.
Yeah, the colors really pop.
It does. 2014 Finest is one of my favorites between you and I and everybody else. And this is the one that I am probably the most excited about because I have atomic refractors from this set. It looks so good, by the way, Andy. Thank you so much. But I have other atomic refractors in every type of grading company's slab. And this one, again, it presents the best, which is great. This one I'm still kind of sad about, but that's okay. It still looks great. So it's a 7.5.
Yeah.
It was a completely fair grade with the mark on the back. Big indent, but good looking card as well. And then lastly, we have this vintage card right here of
Now,
Ben
it may
Hogan.
only be a 2, but that's a cool card.
It's a cool card,
It's
right?
a cool card. And in my world, that the grade doesn't matter.
This is the only card you think is cool in the whole submission, isn't it?
No,
Because it's the only vintage.
I do love vintage, yeah. I do love vintage. I
Great.
love how the super fractors look in the holder, though, but yeah, that's my world is vintage.
That's amazing. Hey, well, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
And again, I love the way that your holders look. And if you want to check out CGC, feel free. And you can enter a submission on their website. Do you have anything else you want to add there?
Yeah, no, cgccards.com.
Great. And if you want one of these really cool 1 of 5 Scottie B cards and Kalen B cards, I guess you could say rookie cards, leave a comment below which one of these was your favorite, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Now, I have to ask, are you going to autograph the front of the holder for
I
him?
should have autographed it before we graded
Oh.
it and given it a 10 autograph. That's what we should have done, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. If you win the card and you want me to autograph it, I will do so for you. So,
Awesome.
Okay, thanks guys, appreciate it.